Hello friends, welcome to our channel Mechanical Motivator. In this video, we will be seeing an introduction to force analysis. Actually, we will be having this unit as the unit 1, and here the unit 1 is divided into two different categories. And first category, that is the first off, we will be seeing the force analysis. What are the forces which are acting in a reciprocating IC engine? And we will be seeing 2 to 3 concepts. And in second off, we will be seeing the flywheel. So this is the basic separation of both the units. And in this unit, we will be focusing more on inertia. Inertia plays a crucial role. As all of us know, inertia is nothing but an imaginary force. So just imagine a rigid body. So just imagine a rigid body is kept on a flat surface. The body will be in a static condition and won't be moving unless or until if we are giving a force. So if you are giving a force to push the object, and there will be a resistance which will be coming from inside of the object. So that force is called as an inertia force. It can also be called as a resistance force against the force which we give. So try to understand a simple concept. For example, a body or an object having a 10 kg. So it's not easy to just move the object with our hand. So we need to give a force, right? So if this force is lesser than the force which is coming from inside the body, then the body will be in same condition, the body won't move. So if we have or apply a force greater than the force which is coming inside the object, then only the body or object will be moving. So this is a basic criterion. So if the force which we apply and the force which is coming inside, that is the inertia force, if both the forces are equal, then such a condition is called as an equilibrium condition, and same thing, the body won't be moving, the body will be in the same place. So inertia force is nothing but an imaginary force which when acts upon a rigid body brings it to an equilibrium position. It is numerically equal to the accelerating force in magnitude but opposite in direction. That is, it will be having the same magnitude. Whatever the force which you apply, it will be having the same magnitude, but the only thing is the force will be acting in the opposite direction. So as we all know, according to Newton's second law, force is equal to mass into acceleration, and this inertia force is same force but in opposite direction. That's why we are putting minus accelerating force. So minus ma. M is the mass of the body and a is the acceleration of the center of gravity of the body. So this is the basic concept. As we saw an accelerating force, right? Same way as we saw inertia force, there is also an inertia torque. So inertia torque is also an imaginary torque. For example, if you are rotating a body, so automatically the torque will be created. So there will be an opposite torque, that is inertia torque, which will be acting in the opposite direction of the torque which we apply or which the body is rotating. So inertia torque is an imaginary torque which when applied upon a rigid body brings it to the equilibrium position. Whatever we saw for inertia force, the same thing holds good for inertia torque also. Inertia torque also will be having the same accelerating couple in magnitude, but only thing is it will be acting in the opposite direction. So inertia force plays a major role in reciprocating IC engine. So we will be seeing in detail in upcoming videos. So we will be seeing a very important concept, that is D'Alembert's principle. So mostly in 2 marks or 4 marks in Anna University questions, you will be getting 2 marks surely from D'Alembert's principle. So what is the concept is simple. Consider rigid body which will be acting upon various forces, and now we're going to take the system and consider it as a single resultant force. So what happens? It is just the the product of mass of the body and acceleration of the body. This is mainly due to Newton's second law of motion. So according to Newton's second law, F is equal to ma, and F is the resultant force acting on the body, and m is the mass of the body, and a is the linear acceleration of the center of mass of the body. So this is the equation 1. If you want to bring this mass into acceleration to the left hand side, so how the equation will become? F minus ma. So just listen here. The equation 1 may also be written as, just bring the entire term to the left hand side. So F minus ma into is equal to 0. So this is the equation 2. And this minus ma is nothing but the inertia force. So have a look at here. So we know will be having a little consideration, that is the that is the minus ma, as you saw earlier, right? So this minus ma will be treated as a force equal but opposite. That is, it will be acting an opposite direction to the accelerating force, as we saw already, with the same line of action as the resultant force. So now what happens? This minus ma, which actually it's an equal and opposite force, and this minus ma is called as an inertia force or reversed effective force, and it can be written as F suffix capital I. F suffix capital I. So we can write the entire equation. We can replace this minus ma as Fi. I will be representing the inertia force and F is the force. So F plus Fi is equal to 0. This is the third equation. So this is the basic concept. When they are asking us to state the D-element principle, mean the resultant force, the resultant force acting on a body together with the reversed effective force, that is nothing but inertia force. The resultant force acting on a body together with the inertia force will be in equilibrium or in equilibrium. So this is the basic principle of D-element principle. And they sometimes they will be asking the reason for stating the D-element principle. Mainly we use this principle mainly due to, mainly we want to reduce a dynamic problem into an equivalent static problem. So dynamic problem means it will be in motion, right? A body will be in motion and it will be very difficult to calculate. Even we can calculate a dynamic problem, but comparatively static problem will be much easier and it's less complicated. So this principle is used to reduce a dynamic problem into equivalent static problem. So solving problem will be very easy. So this is the basic introduction, and in upcoming videos we'll be seeing the velocity acceleration of the piston, connecting rod and derivation of it, and we'll be solving few more problems. In case if you are having any doubt in this concept, just type in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video and do subscribe my channel, then only you'll be seeing all the videos which I upload.